about insurance. Now it's the beginning of the year, so people are looking for policies, new policies for their homes, for their cars, and bundle policies. So can actually people save money if they were to bundle their home or renter with their car insurance?
Yes,
Yes, yes,
definitely. If you
definitely. If you
bundle home and
bundle home and
auto,
auto.
a lot of people they call and they just want for their home because they don't realize the advantage of bundling. So when they say, no, I don't want for my home, and okay, let me just quote the autos and I'll give you a quote with just the discount so you can see the difference. So anywhere between 20-25% additional. This is just bundling home and auto. Plus, if you add an umbrella, if you add life, that gives you an extra discount. So the more policies you get, the more discounts also you get.
So, do you see families doing that more often now, beginning to bundle more versus having separate insurers for each policy? It's
Yes,
easier.
yes.
Yes, yes.
People is
People is
bundling more
bundling
because they
more because
also
they
don't want to
also want to.
have their policy separate with one company, another. So they prefer to have everything together, just one agent plus the discount. So yeah, people is doing more bundling these days.
Okay, thank you for telling me. So, in sharing that with us. So, what is covered exactly in your home owner's insurance policy?
Your
Your
homeowner's
homeowner's
insurance
insurance
policy is
policy
gonna
is going to
cover, of
cover,
course,
of
the
course, the
dwelling, which
dwelling.
is your property. The way that we insure properties is based on replacement cost, because a lot of people get a little bit confused between market value and replacement cost. So, for example, the same type of property in Arlington Heights is it's gonna be the market value different than Elgin. So we insure properties based on replacement costs, so which means how much it will be for the company to rebuild the whole property in case of a total loss. So we put all together based on the assessor's office, the listing, all the features, square footage, siding, flooring, everything together. We put it in our system and we come up with a replacement cost. So let's say the replacement cost came up $400,000. We're going to insure your property for $400,000. And additional to that, you have a 20% of the replacement cost guaranteed. It's also cover your personal property, let's say your clothes, your furniture, your electronics. Um, and this is a separate coverage of the dwelling, okay? So let's say that your dwelling, your home, it's 400,000. Your personal property is going to be separate, and it's usually a percentage of your of the home. It can go anywhere between 75%, 50%. It's an automatic percentage, but it's a separate coverage. Another very important thing that is covered under homeowners is personal liability. So what about if somebody that is visiting you, they got into an accident, they injured themselves and they sue you. So the personal liability will cover court fees, attorneys, any legal fees. What about if
That's
you're
very
if you have
interesting. That's very interesting. You
yes.
bring up a really good point because people do not understand that. Let me just go back. People do not understand that personal property insurance is different from the dwelling insurance. Those are
Mhm.
two separate, right? And
Correct.
people do not understand the importance of also having insurance on your personal items. Because if something was to happen to your home, let's say a fire, that would go to your dwelling insurance. That would go to your personal, right? Your property insurance.
Yeah, let's say
Yeah,
if
let's say
you
if your
home gets
home
into a
gets into a
fire,
fire,
it will cover
it will cover
your
your
home
home
plus your
plus your
personal
personal
property because the
property because the
policy will have
policy will
coverage
have
for
coverage
both.
for both. Okay. Because a lot of what I know for myself and others, we just kind of like, we need to define what this means. So that's what the show is about today, is just talking to you, Stephanie, and we'll revisit with you again about how to start unpacking and um, keeping your house safe, keeping your property safe, keeping your automobile safe, keeping what you're
Hmm.
working hard for safe at a good price.
Right.
So tell us one other thing before we get out is what is an umbrella policy? You always hear that word, but what is that?
Umbrella policy
Umbrella
is
policy is
basically an
basically
extra
an
layer of
extra layer of
protection for your
protection for your
assets.
assets.
In other words,
In
the way
other
I like
words,
to
the way
explain
I
the
like to
umbrella is with
explain
an
the umbrella is
example.
with an example.
For example, your
For
home.
example, your home.
It has
It
personal
has personal
liability. Let's say that
liability. Let's say
you
that
have a little
you
dog
have a
or
little
big
dog
dog,
or
and they bite a person, and that person sue you, um, and your homeowners will cover whatever limit it has. Let's say $300,000. But what about if it's the damage is more than that? Then the umbrella will cover the extra. It usually starts with $1 million. So it's basically liability, extra liability, and it will it will kick in your autos and your home. Another example, let's say that you got into an accident. God forbid it's a vid accident. Um, First thing that will kick in is your auto policy, right? So let's say that you have your limits at 100,000 per person, 300,000 per accident. So it's a big accident, and your insurance, auto insurance, will only cover 300,000. But what about if it's more than that? If they sue you for 500,000 and you don't have that, you will be responsible for the 200,000 additional. So what the attorneys will do, go against your assets. If you have a property, if you have autos, if you have a business, let's say that you don't have any of that, they will go then against your salary. So yeah, umbrella will cover additional liability on top of your home and autos, whatever liability you have there.
Okay, so that's additional insurance on top. So
Correct.
when a person has a home-based business, though, should they have business insurance?
I would
I would
recommend to
recommend
get
to get
insurance for
insurance
their
for their
business.
business.
A
A
lot of
lot.
people think that their business is going to be covered under the home if they are doing business on their home. But you know what? They will be, depending on the activities that they are doing, they might not be aware that the homeowners won't cover. I will always recommend to check with your agent, because that might nullify the homeowner's personal liability if you are doing any type of business that depending on the risk. And it's also essential for a business because it safeguards you for example, if somebody slips, or the products or services that you're offering damage somebody, that will cover you the legal fees, the legal expenses, medical costs, any compensation for damages resulting in any of this. So it's very important to have insurance for your business, even though if you are doing it in your home. And always check with your insurance if there is some limitations, if you are doing insurance in your home, if that affect in somehow your homeowner's policy. I'm sorry, I think you're muted. Linda, I think you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear
I
you now.
can hear you
Yes.
now.
Okay, good. I'm so glad I'm going to be editing this.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't worry, I will be editing this. So I appreciate you coming on today just to talk to us a little bit more about the importance of insurance and how it plays a role in your life, and actually how people can call and just get a number, right? Get a quote from you and compare it
Yes.
to what they're paying now. And then they can switch over if they're open to what their numbers come back. So are you able to do that? You can compare prices and show people what theirs would be saving or have would be different working with you guys.
Yes, I definitely will
Yes,
be
yes, I
so
definitely will
happy to
be
do that.
so
Please
happy to do
call
that. Please call 847 394
We can always
3220.
compare
We can
whatever you
always
currently
compare
have.
whatever you currently have.
And see if we can give you a better price, also better coverage. So yeah, definitely call us.
Okay, wonderful. All right. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate you coming on, and we look forward to having you back again.
Yes, yes. Nice talking to you today, Linda.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.